Good morning, you guys. So today is not going to be my normal cute chick update video or what mess has Charlie gotten herself into today. Today I have a warning for you. I wanted to share it with you. Because of my ignorance, I nearly cost Champ his life, and I thought I'd share my mistake with you because if it can stop anyone else from making the same mistake, it's well worth it. So what most of you don't know, unless you're really close to us, you don't know, that this summer, Big kind of did a trial transfer up here. We hadn't decided if we were going to move up here yet, but they needed help. And so he came up during the week all summer, and then he'd come home on the weekends. And so when he got here, the house, obviously it's at the edge of the forest and had been sitting vacant for some time, so there were mice, which that's gross, but no big deal. So we went to the store looking for decon, but couldn't find any. So we ended up picking up Tomcat mouse killing baits, right? And you get 16 bait blocks and one kid-friendly, dog-friendly, keep them safe, keep the poison away from them. You get one of those and 16 blocks. So I put the bare blocks like behind appliances and put the bait housing out where, anyone could get to them. Honestly, I wasn't worried about my dogs in the least. I was thinking more along the lines of my little nephew. So, put the child safe ones where he might get to them just in case. And by the way, these baits work great against mice. Put them out, and within a week had no signs of mice. Haven't had any signs of mice since. Oops, dropped it. So, that works. Went through, disinfected the house. Whoops. Haven't had a problem. I turned the video off. So I was saying I haven't had a problem since with any mice. Worked really good. So that's great. So fast forward Monday. We've been watching the news. If you haven't watched the news, you need to see what's going on in the world. Educate yourself. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. So we got to talking about the fact that we probably should increase our food storage. We keep plenty on hand for us, but since we're in the country, if things start to go bad, then all of our family and friends in the city are going to come up here, and more mouths go through your food storage a lot faster. So I decided to stock up and went to the store and got a bunch of non-perishables, and they wouldn't fit my pantry. So Little has an extra closet in his room, and we just kind of use it for storage. And so I decided that'd be a good spot for our emergency food storage. So I'll show that to you now. So this is Little's bedroom. Definitely the coolest room in the house. Got a long hallway. We can do more of a tour at another day. But he has one small closet, which is plenty big for his stuff. And then right next to it, he has this bigger closet. And I love how when the people built this place, they really utilized all the space in the house. So this is just kind of a catch-all storage closet. And I know you can't see because it's not light, but all the way back here it goes the length of the house and connects to another closet for the other bedroom. So I decided that in this room I would have Big build me some shelves, and this would be the perfect spot for our food pantry. So I brought up the canned goods, and then I got to thinking, well, nothing ruins food storage like mice having a party. So where the ceiling meets the floor, I put like 3 baits down with the intention of having the boys bring the water up and then stack it along the ceiling. Plus I have a chain lock on this door, so I figure, it would be safe from the nephew. Never did it occur to me that it needs to be safe from the dogs. Charlie can't even get up here. And then, like I said, I didn't think Champ would even, I wouldn't have guessed that he would try to eat them. So anyway, the guys got home from school and work, and so I asked them to carry the waters up for me. And so they made their first trip up the stairs, put the waters in the closet, come down, just straight to the truck, grabbed another load of waters, went up, and I see Champ chewing up and swallowing the bait block. Like, it was less than a minute. Now, let me tell you, I would have bet money that I can't even get him to eat vegetables. I would have bet money he would have never touched a rat poison or mouse poison bait block. Well, guess what? He did. So I call up the vet and I'm like, hey, oh, by the way, we are about 2 hours from our vet, but call him up. Hey, by the way, Champ ate this mouse poison. What do I do? And she said, well, what's the active ingredient? Well, it's bromethalin. I don't know what that is. I didn't research it. I could have. I absolutely wish I had. Would have done things a lot differently, but I didn't research it. So I say, oh, it's bromethalin. And she said, oh, okay, so here's the deal. You need to get him to throw up immediately. She said, normally I'd have you just bring him in and we can give him a shot to make him throw up, but you're too far away and it will already have been absorbed by the system by the time you get here. So you need to give him 2 ounces of hydrogen peroxide. Be very, very careful because if it's going to burn his throat. Just right off the bat, it's going to burn his throat. And if he inhales it and breathes it in, it's going to burn his respiratory tract and cause pneumonia and a whole host of other problems. But it's the lesser of two evils because you see, this bromethalin, there's not an antidote. It is a neurotoxin that causes their brain to swell, causes seizures, causes paralysis in their hind legs, and then death. And there is no antidote. The only thing that they can do is treat, like, give medicine for the seizures, give them an IV for fluids, but nothing that they can do about it. So I'm panicked. I get off the phone, I'm telling Big what the vet said, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, we have to get him to drink peroxide. I don't even know how we're gonna do that, and I don't know the conversion. How many tablespoons of peroxide is in 2 ounces? I don't know. And they recommended using a turkey baster to give him the peroxide, but I don't have a turkey baster. I cook my turkeys in bags. So I'm freaking out, of course. Champ's our kid. And so Big's like, whoa, 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 calm down. Okay, first of all, a shot glass is 1 ounce. So 2 shot glasses, 2 ounces. Easy. Okay. So he said, we looked around and said, oh, all right, we'll put it into a Ziploc bag and cut the corner off of it. So that way we can get it down his throat easier. But still, then you're running into the, how do you get a dog to drink peroxide? Thank goodness it was Champ and not Charlie, because it would have went a lot worse, because Charlie would have not, no way. But Champ's super obedient, and with very little coaxing, he did look at us like we were crazy, but with very little coaxing, Big was able to get him to open his mouth and pour the peroxide in and get him to swallow it. So thankfully he's such a good boy, and he drank the peroxide. It made him throw up immediately, and he probably threw up about half of the poison block. So then we get to make the decision, do we take him down to the vet and let him stay there overnight, so that way if he starts to have a seizure or if he needs an IV, they can handle it. But we know that he hates the vet. He hates it there. They're not going to say, oh, okay, he's your son, well, you can stay with him. No, they're going to want us to drop him off and leave. And so I'm reading online, and most everyone that this happened to, it's a horror story. And they take him to the vet, and you know, they get the IV, they have the seizure meds, and the vet ends up calling and saying, hey, we're going to need to put your dog down. So do we take him to the vet so he can spend the last hours of his life terrified and alone, or do we watch him here? So we decided to just keep a really close eye on him, stay up with him all night, and if he had any signs of seizure, or if I couldn't get him to drink water, then we'd take him in, because it's a 24-hour emergency vet anyway, so they're open all night long. So ended up, he definitely had a fever. He couldn't eat or drink, but I could get him to sip water out of a water bottle, thankfully, because he likes that. Whenever we go on hikes, he always likes to drink out of my water bottle, so we just did that. He didn't end up having any seizures, no hind end paralysis or anything, but he was super tired for several days, no appetite. So finally yesterday he was back to his old self. So ended up being, you know, I mean, it could have been so much worse, but I just thought, you know, I had no idea. I thought that if they did eat the poison, which I didn't think you would, but if they did, well, you just go to the vet and they give them a vitamin K shot. That's what they did with the Decon. Not that I've had a dog that ate Decon, but I've read about it. That's not the case anymore. This is a different kind of poison. There is no antidote. So if your dog eats it, and thank God we saw him eat it and knew right away and were able to get him to throw up, but if they eat it and it stays in their system, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna lose your dog. So I just wanted to get on here, make a warning, because I was ignorant. I didn't research what I was bringing into my house. Didn't even think about it. I just wanted to get rid of the mice. Could have cost Champ his life. So wanted to warn you guys. So thankful that he's back to his old happy self. I was praying to God every night. It was rough. It was really rough. So ended up a happy ending. Most people are not that lucky. So but I just wanted to give you a warning. I hope it helps somebody. Pay attention to what you're bringing in. It's not the old school stuff. It's not the stuff we're used to. You got to read the ingredients. You got to research. So love you guys.